Oh, hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. Hey, if you liked the video, click that like button and click subscribe so that you'll get notifications whenever we post new content. Appreciate you watching. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone. Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. We done a video the other day of unboxing of our Predator Tactics Coyote Reaper IR spotlight. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. I'm going to have this attached to my AR that I'm going to coyote hunting with, but I wanted to kind of give you all an idea of the difference of this light and the difference in the standard lights. Now my ATN, as you see here, this is my ATN X-Sight Pro 4K, and this is the 5x20 version. That means it'll zoom up to 20 and down to 5 power. And when you get it, it has its own IR light with it. It's I'll have to get the information and I'll put on the screen here all about it. It's an 850 power light. Now this is a decent little light. It's not, you know, superb. It's not going to get you out to 300 or 400 yards, but inside of say like 150 yards, it's a pretty decent little light. But if you're going to coyote hunt realistically, and also with bobcats, also and red foxes in this area, that if you're going to night hunt for those animals, some of them around here are kind of leery because they get a lot of hunting pressure, and you can get them to come into a call, but getting them to come in a long way, you know, right up on you and close where you be in 50, 60, 70 yards range, not so good. So what you need is you need a light that's powerful, not only on zoom, but it's also got a really big flood, so you can scan a bigger area with that light when you're looking to try to find the predators coming in, because the faster you can see that predator at distance, then that means you can set up better and know what to expect and watch that animal and react to what he does and keep from spooking him out. So what I done was, the mount that I have is set up to where you could put a standard light on one side and a IR light on the other side. That's the way the factory intended it. But what I've got is I've got my standard factory light that came with the sight when I bought it, with the ATN night scope when I bought it. And then on beside it, the Predator Tactics Coyote Reaper light that's in its adjustable mount. As you can see, the light will move up and down, and that is awesome because once I get in the field and I'm looking down the scope, I can adjust this to where it's looking at my point of aim, and then I can lock it down to where it won't move, and I've got a really good centered light and in the exact area where I'm going to be hunting. So when it gets dark, we're going to get out here and take a look down across some of the property with this thing and compare the two lights. Now both of them have different adjustments. The light that came standard with my light, it does have a power adjustment of 3 different levels. I'm assuming that would be low, high, and medium. And then it also has a zoom and spot capability that you can turn it, and it will become just a smaller light, so it supposedly will reach further, and then it'll make a flood. Same thing as the Coyote Reaper light has. The Coyote Reaper light on the back, instead of having a dial where it clicks down, it actually has a knob where you can adjust the power just off a roll knob, and it's not a click thing. It's more of like a rheostat kind of deal, I guess, where you can just slowly bring up the power or only bring it up exactly to what you want. But it also has the zoom on it to where you can zoom this light and really pull it down and get a good spot at a distance. Now, I don't know that we're going to get the distance out of this light that a lot of people say you get. There's been reports of this light, the Coyote Reaper light, at 2/3 of a mile. that you could easily recognize if you were looking at a deer or you're looking at a coyote or whatever he's looking at 2/3 of a mile. Now guys, realistically, 2/3 of a mile is a long way with the naked eye, well, not really through the naked eye, but through a scope, at night to say, okay, yeah, that's a deer, or you know, if it's a buck or a doe or whatever. Maybe it will. We're going to find out. I've got about 1,200 yards roughly of open ground back here that I can look across, and when it gets dark tonight, we're going to test them. We're going to see what it looks like. I don't know that animals don't necessarily, they claim that they can't see this light, but now if you've got infrared powered trail cameras out and you've seen animals kind of, what the heck was that? You know, when they're coming into the picture of the camera, I don't know that if maybe the lights make a sound when they come on. I'm not 100% sure of that. I may try to figure that out, but I haven't to this point. I haven't tried to really check into it. But I just wonder if they don't sort of see it. Maybe it's not something that just blinds their eyes, but maybe they can see it somewhat. So I don't know. Maybe somebody will chime in with that that's got more book smarts about that stuff than I do. But what I'm interested in right now is seeing the difference between the light that comes with this and the Coyote Reaper. Now, like I said, this light came with my scope when I got it. It didn't cost me anything extra. Now, this Coyote Reaper is a $170 light. So it's not a small investment, but if everything works out to what I've been told and what I've read about this light when we get it in the field, it's going to be well worth $170 if you night hunt. And then hopefully we're going to get some footage very soon of using it and getting some kills. And I've actually considered something kind of wild. I've got a couple of high-powered air rifles, and we do have some rats that hang around back in part of the property around where the cornfield is. And I've thought about getting out at night and putting up a little ground blind and see if we couldn't pop some rats with an air rifle. May look into that too. But guys, when it gets dark, we'll be back in and we'll show you what these two lights will do and compare it side by side, and see if the Coyote Reaper has that much of a difference in what it can do. You can see there's a huge lens difference. This one's maybe 1.25 inches. This one's at least 2 inches. So we'll see what's what when it gets dark. We'll be back. Okay, y'all. This first image we're looking through is the stock IR light that comes with the ATN X-Sight 4K Pro. That's on its lowest power. That horizon in the cornfield right there on that hill is at about 275 yards. This is on the lowest power setting. I'm going to go to the middle power setting. And that brightens it up a bit more, and you can actually see a decent layout of the field. I want to try to focus it a little bit better. Yeah, get it back just a little. Yeah, you can actually kind of see the rows, where the rows were in the field at that power setting. Let's go to the highest one. Now that is the highest power setting of the stock light that comes with the ATN 4K Pro X-Sight. And like I say, that crest is about 250 to 275 yards, depending on what end of it you are. It gets a little bit closer, up about 250 at this end. And then probably in the neighborhood of right where you feel that drop off right there, it's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 275, 280, right around in there. So it's still pretty good. I mean, you can still see quite a bit, and I believe if there was an animal there, you'd be able to see it no problem. Now, I want to attempt to turn this light off. Alright, that's got this light off. Now I'm going to turn on the Coyote Reaper from Predator Tactics, and let's see how it does. Okay, now there it is at its Okay, let's turn it all the way down. Okay, now that's the lowest setting on this light. I'm going to slowly start bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up. Still okay there. Now that's the highest power setting. Now what I want to do is I want to try, without losing our line of sight too awful much, I want to try to zoom it in. Oh wow. Oh gosh, look at that. That's not zoomed all the way in, but for practical purposes of what we're looking at, man, well, that tree line back there is about 600 yards that you can see past the edge of the field, past that crest of the corn there, and that's pretty doggone good right there. I haven't got it now. As you can see, you can turn this, adjust it, and I haven't got it adjusted exactly where it needs to be. So you can look at that tree right there we're looking at. That's about 550, 600 yards from where I'm sitting to that tree. Now, that's pretty doggone good. Now, I ain't got it exactly lined up. This is just our primary test of this light. I just put it on. You're seeing it as I've seen it. And that's with the scope up to 9.3 power. That's my scope back. Scope back at about 8. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's like daylight. Guys, that thing is awesome. Yes, sir. That's really, really, really good. And there is very, very little ambient light out here tonight. There's no moon. Well, yeah, there's partial moon, but it's overcast skies, so we don't got a lot of moonlight. And that is awesome, the way that thing picks up. Like I say, that tree line right there, that's awesome, boys. Them trees are like 650 yards right there. Son, you could put it on a coyote from this guy with this thing from downtown. Well, guys, that's what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this Coyote Reaper light. Now let's zoom it back. Point of view, up close. Well, I say up close, that's probably 200 yards right there where I'm shining it. And any kind of critter that was out there right now, you pick him up. That's just amazing. And that's with it focaled way out. So for one more time, I want to bring this thing up here and dial it all the way in. Okay, I wish I had it lined up just a touch better, but that might be yeah, there we go, that's a lot better. Alright, so now that's with this scope zoomed all the way in, or not the scope, I'm sorry, with the light zoomed all the way in. And you can see that tree real good. That tree is at about 600 yards. And that's that's a long ways, guys. That is a long ways. What I want to do now is I want to turn this light off. Okay, this is the Predator Tactics Coyote Reaper light, adjusted all the way in on the zoom, and the power is all the way up. I'm going to turn this light off, and as you can see, we can see that tree at about 600 yards really good. It's really, really clear. So I'm going to turn this one off, and then I'm going to turn on the original light that came with the scope on its highest power settings, and let's see if we can even see that tree with the other light that comes with the scope when you buy it. Okay, that's off. And that is the other scope at full power, and you just barely can make out the outline of that tree, not even real good, just the main trunk. And that's with the scope drawn in at the same 8.3 is what the digital scope was drawn in on. And that's pretty good, guys. That is pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, that's what we was looking for.
So I hope this video was something you enjoyed doing. I enjoyed making it. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.
Hey y'all, appreciate you watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one. This is Fat Man. I'm gone.